Garrison, military police, civilians, titans, and other. Alright. Let's try
Oh, I meant to tell you. Have you heard of that movie? Your Name.
Your Name.
Yeah,
I don't know.
the new anime film just came out.
Oh,
I think it's been out for a little bit, but it just passed Spirited Away as the #1 all-time best-selling anime film in Japan.
Really?
Yeah, and it's fucking good too. We went to go see it last night, and it's really fucking. It was at one of the theaters. We went to go see it, and it's like really fucking good.
Is it by the same artist?
No, it's not by Studio Ghibli, and Miyazaki did not. I don't think it has any affiliation with Studio Ghibli. But you can definitely tell that the director of it definitely took inspiration from Ghibli, and
Yeah.
because there's like themes out throughout it that are very much like Ghibli-esque. But it's really good. It's like these a guy and a girl. They switch bodies.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And
yeah, I've seen it. Every time they dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You saw it already?
Yeah.
Oh, when did you see it?
It came out in January.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know it's been out for a while.
Yeah, it's by the author, the director of my favorite movie, or one of my favorite anime movies. My favorite anime movie is Wolf Children, but one of my favorites is Garden of Words. Have you seen that? It's by the same producer or artist or whatever, by the same group, and it's amazing. Really good. Your Name has more of a like Garden of Words is very like slice of life, very realistic.
Yeah.
And then they made this one more like an anime type fantasy, but
Yeah.
they're both really good. The same type of like art where it's like very like hyper realistic detail and stuff. Really good. Yeah. But yeah, Your Name is amazing. I love it.
Yeah, it was really good, man. I was so like emotional after it. I texted Shelby and I was like, I need you to FaceTime me tonight, like really bad, because I need human contact and interaction.
Yeah, whenever she's like looking at the fireworks and you realize that like it's
that she dies.
Yeah, that like it was like that he was talking to someone someone that was in the meteor attack or something.
Yeah.
I was like, Rah!
Yeah, it was like what?
Yeah.
And then when he fucking goes up there, are you recording?
Yeah.
Okay. When he fucking goes up there and he's at the top of like the initial crater where the little temple thing is, and like they meet each other at twilight,
mm-hmm.
and so they can see each other even though they're in different times,
mm-hmm.
and like they go to write each other's names on there, and like he writes on hers, and then she goes to write on his, and she gets like one line done, and the pen drops.
Yeah.
You're like, no. You're like, why?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
And then like she like fucking like she tumbles and all that, and she wakes up and like she looks at her hand and he didn't write his name. He just wrote "I love you."
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, my heart just
yeah.
Oh my god, man.
But then they
kill me.
But then they're like, you know what? Let's give them something. And then they give you the ending.
Yeah, the ending was really nice. Spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't seen it. Should probably put spoiler alert before, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end, there were like two parts where I was like, God damn it, just let them get together. God damn it, just let them get together. And they kept on like passing each other, and I was like, ah, ah. And then they finally fucking passed each other on the stairwell.
Yeah.
And I was like, motherfucker, and they didn't say anything. And then he turns around and he was like, hey, and I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Like really scared for a second.
Yeah, that was a good one.
But yeah, I really, dude, the chick behind me, it was in the movie theater behind me, was just bawling. Like from the moment that you find out that she was in the meteor attack. From then on, all I heard behind me was just. That's all I fucking heard. I was like, God damn it! I was like,
damn.
man.
So you got to see it in a theater, man. That's cool.
It was, dude. This little place called Midtown Art Cinema or Midtown Art Theater it's really cool. They play a lot of shit like that.
Yeah.
They're playing a Japanese film right now. I can't remember the fucking name of it. It's getting really good reviews though. But yeah. But we're not talking about live action film. We're talking about anime.
Yeah.
You just want to dive on into Attack on Titan?
Well, yeah. So I'm in the middle of rewatching the recap movies now to try to catch up some stuff, and
okay.
There's, like I said, there's extra footage. So if you haven't watched the recap movies, check it out because I got some theories just like that I've been piecing together, and some of the scenes I saw in the second movie kind of helped me with that. But
and all this stuff takes place in between seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah, movie one is part like I guess this is what we're starting now. It's supposed to be season 2, but the first movie chronicles, I think, episodes 1 through 13, and then movie 2 chronicles 14 through 23.
So it's just a recap.
Yeah, it's just a recap.
Oh, okay, all right.
But they throw in extra footage.
Oh shit! All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. But yeah, so.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. You want to start with episode 1 of season 2?
Yeah. I just want to say ahead of time to anybody that is watching this, it might sound throughout this whole deal that I'm shitting on Attack on Titan. I'm not shitting on it. I just come from a very realistic point of view that how they treated the fans in this whole process, I feel like it was very shitty. And I just feel like if we're the people who are buying the Blu-rays, we're the ones giving them the fan base who are craving another season of Attack on Titan. They should have given it to us way sooner. But it's coming from that same point. I'm still going to watch it. And the 2 episodes that I've seen, I really liked them. So I might say some stuff that sounds like I'm shitting on it. I'm not shitting on it. I have my opinions about how they've handled this whole situation. So.
You're a salty little bitch.
I'm a little salty, but I'm still gonna watch. So calm down, Jesus Christ. Before you start typing in Ethan suck on a bag of dicks and fucking die, asterisks. So do you want to go ahead and start? First off, your initial thoughts on the first episode.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course I would have liked to see more of Eren and Mikasa, but we got what happened during the major fight between Eren and Annie, which was this strange breakout of Titans in the East. Was it East District? The Eastern.
Yeah. The South. It was the South Gate.
Yeah.
I think it was the South Wall.
Yeah. So that was cool, because we had no clue that happened in the first season.
Uh-huh.
And then of course in this random simultaneous attack we see this emergence of a new Titan, which was awesome. The Beast Titan.
Yeah.
Who's sentient, which I saw coming because in the specials that they released, they gave us a little taste of that with the speaking Titan. Well, that was just a normal Titan.
Oh, see, I had no idea. That completely took me off guard because I haven't watched any of the other stuff. I wasn't boycotting Attack on Titan, but I was kind of fucking boycotting Attack on Titan and all the shit they were putting out for the second season. So I didn't watch any of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I had no idea there was going to be a sentient Titan who could fucking talk,
mm-hmm.
and was curious about the technology of 3D maneuvering devices.
Yeah.
I had no fucking idea about that. So that was kind of crazy. What was your reaction to it? You said that you liked it. Did you think it was worth a 5-year hiatus?
I mean, no, I mean,
based off this episode, the first one.
no, I mean, no. If you think about what we saw, like think about when the episode where Aaron dies, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's in like episode 5 or so, something around there.
Yeah, early
Um, and the shock when like Mikasa is ready to end her life. She's just gonna let Titans take her over, and then that initial like release of Aaron's Titan form to the public. How that shock. Then you have
Yeah.
the big opening of Annie's first female Titan.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the ending where they finally reveal that Annie's the female, so now you know it's Annie, which is a big thing, and then they make you wait 5 years, and the only thing that happens besides this release of which think about it, the release of this Beast Titan, you have Mike talking on a roof, about what they need to do, and he just kind of like looks over and like briefly like says, that Titan's a little weird, and then you're like,
yeah,
it's like, I don't know. I feel like that Beast Titan should have. I feel like that the point was to make it look like it was just something odd, but nothing to take notice of until he grabs the horse.
Yeah.
But that was something
it's
that
obviously not a regular Titan though,
and it's something that they have never ever seen before.
Yeah.
And they know that abnormals are out there.
Yeah.
So I'm just for them to not make a bigger deal out of that on episode 1 of season 2 after 5 years made the impact of it for me a little weak,
a little diminished.
Yeah,
I feel you. I was looking at a lot of the comments and a lot of the reaction videos to it, and even some of my own friends who were watching it, who, I mean, they were freaking out. Oh my God, the Titans are talking! Boy, Titans are talking! And it's so worth the wait. It's so worth this 5-year hiatus. No, it's not.
Yeah.
It absolutely was not. You cannot sit there and tell me that you can judge a 5-year hiatus from a show based on one episode of the second season.
Mm-hmm.
One episode justifies an entire 5-year gap.
Yeah.
Of 4.5-year gap, basically 5 years gap between seasons. Absolutely not. It doesn't. Now, I'm saying that, and this upcoming season might be the best fucking season of anime that I've ever seen in my life. It just might be. Actually like the second episode a little bit better than the first one, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But to judge a 5-year hiatus on one episode is absurd. So to sit there and say that, oh my God, because it was a reveal of a new Titan, and the Titan talked, and there was that, and that's what I kept on hearing was, oh my God, that scene where it eats Mike, is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the scene where they eat Mike was so gruesome. It was the gruesome thing I've ever seen in the show. Yeah, it was for shock value.
Yeah.
That's all his death was shock value.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but it didn't need to be that long and didn't need to be that gruesome. And they did it in the stylized way that they did because they wanted to make a huge impact to remind people this is Attack on Titan, where people get fucking eaten really gruesomely. Mm-hmm. And that's how they did it. I liked the episode, but I did not think that based on that first episode that it was worth the wait.
Yeah.
For me personally.
Yeah.
But I really did like it.
Think about the first 30 seconds of episode 1 of season 1. At the first 30 seconds, when you have
what was the first 30 seconds?
The quiet, eerie, eerie sound, the ambiance that they had. You have this weird kind of statued town as they stare into the sky. You have these geese, like this slow motion pan of these geese flying, and then all of a sudden, as they fly over the gate, you see this big hand on the top of the gate.
Oh yeah, okay,
first 30 seconds. The first 30 seconds of that anime was one of the best intro of any anime I've ever seen.
Okay, yeah, I remember that now. Yeah.
And
yeah, it's super. It's just epic.
Yeah, and you can't say that after 5 years that what we got in season two was like just as good, you know?
Yeah, no. And I was having this conversation with one of my friends um, about how after a 5 year gap in technology and animation technology, I expected the. I mean, it's already a beautiful anime, like from season one, absolutely gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at Dragon Ball Z or Naruto or I mean any long running anime that has a gap that long, like season 1 to season 3 of Dragon Ball Z, holy shit! Talk about a difference.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a whole different anime.
Yeah.
Like it's drawn so much better. Like, and I don't know what I expected since they took this large amount of time off that the animation would be even crazier. The close ups on the eyes would be even crisper. And it wasn't. I mean, it still looked great, but it looked like the exact same.
Mm.
Which I understand, trying to keep the same aesthetic, but at the same time,
Well, if it had been released the following year after season one ended, I don't think we would have, it would have made like I feel like it would have just felt like another second season of an anime that we were excited to see,
yeah.
and we wouldn't have given
Well,
these
the analogy
details a
that
thought.
you said the other day, it was really good. What was it? You said you compared it to was it drinking?
Oh, we're getting a tattoo.
In a tattoo, yeah. How did you word that again?
It's
I was trying to explain it to somebody, but I couldn't get it across.
Yeah, it's like when you get a tattoo, like it's like when I got mine. It was like the worst pain I've ever felt because they kept going over the same mark over and over and over to do shading, to do color, all this stuff. And then, so people get these tattoos. I'm like, oh, that hurt so bad. And then a year later, they're like, it didn't hurt that bad. I'm ready to get another one. I want another.
Yeah.
And then they get the second tattoo. And they're like, oh my god, it hurts so bad.
Yeah.
And it's like that time lapse. You forget your initial reaction. Your initial like kind of like pain sensors or whatever. That kind of stuff fades out. So it's like everyone saw season one. I was like, oh my god, that was so amazing. Like, this is the best anime ever. Then you give them 5 years, and then show them the second season, and like, oh my god, this is the best anime ever.
Right, because it's like they forgot about all the first
one. They forgot about the first one. But if you played them, like, if I got this tattoo, and then immediately like decided to get a tattoo the next day, I'd be like, this is gonna hurt like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I would expect it, but and then maybe getting that wouldn't feel the same, it wouldn't hurt as bad. I would have kind of had the reaction, But so if this season had come out the following year after the first season ended, we probably would have been excited, would have had great reactions to it.
Super pumped, like we were like the past 3 years when every time they were like, new season of Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Nah, just kidding, it's getting pushed back.
Yeah.
2016, new season of Attack on Titan.
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding, it's getting pushed back.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I feel like I said, I'm still a fan of the series. I still love it.
Yeah.
But I'm not jumping up and down over this. And then, what was that thing that they put out? Do you remember
the high school?
No. They put out a thing this past week saying that they apologized.
Oh, the apology. Yeah, the apology.
The apology. What the hell was that about? That was the most egotistical thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's like, I'm sorry, but your studies are gonna fall from this anime. We just
like it. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because this anime is so great, or it's like gonna be the greatest thing ever. Oh man, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm still holding on to hope though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going in a good direction.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I really liked the first episode. It's just like I said before, probably beaten dead horse by now, but I just didn't think it was, based on just one episode, it was not worth a 5-year hiatus.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
based on that, you saw episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I actually liked it better than episode 1.
Okay.
Because I'm a huge fan of backstory.
Yeah.
Especially with side characters. Because if you strengthen the side characters and supporting characters, a rising tide builds all ships, or whatever it's called. The rising tide raises all ships.
Yeah.
So if you have better supporting characters, it's just going to help your main cast.
Yeah.
And Sasha, she's already a fan favorite.
Yeah.
She's hilarious.
Yeah, she's one of the only comedic parts of the characters in the show.
Yeah, she's like the comedic relief.
Yeah.
And seeing her backstory, I was a little I wasn't confused, but at first I was a little, I didn't like the accents they were doing.
Mm.
I was like, what? Just because they're hunters, like they're these like podunk sounding.
Yeah.
Like, gotta get it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wasn't too thrilled about that. I was like, why the hell are they doing that? She doesn't talk like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it comes the reveal of the flashback to her at the academy with the 2 girls, when they're like, why do you talk like you're always nice to everybody? And then it comes back that she's actually trying to cover up her accent.
Yeah.
And everything. And that kind of struck home with me a little bit, because I mean, mine's pretty thick.
Yeah.
I try to, like, right now you can't really tell, hopefully.
Yeah.
That's suppress it. But naturally, it's pretty thick. So I personally really, I really felt a connection with Sasha at that point. Kind of got me a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was your take on that? The whole backstory with her dad and everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I loved seeing that. I'm still a little confused on what makes Sasha so ravenous.
Yeah, that was kind of weird at the beginning.
Yeah, like her fighting.
I kind of took it as like a comparison, as a parallel between them and the Titans. Are they that different, really?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I took it as. But yeah, it was super. It was very strange. Yeah,
well, like, she's got such a ravenous personality with, like, when she was in, the first day of training camp, of boot camp, and she's like, she stole the potato, and she's just sitting there eating it, like, completely ignoring the superior officer or whatever, and and she's got such a kind of rabid dog aspect when it comes to food, but like she lived as a hunter with her family. Like, I don't know, I'm curious on why. I mean, it's just obviously it's comedic relief. And
well, it says it did say whenever they were talking about the deer and how the deer goes so scarce and everything now. How the game is so scarce now that all these people have flooded the forest to get more food. So I took that as like, and he was like, we're trying to save that piece of meat for later.
Yeah.
For later on in the season. So, I mean, I kind of gathered from that their food at that point for them actually was pretty scarce, and she was just like, fuck it, I'm done. I'm tired of like rationing this shit. I want a full piece of meat. God damn it.
But I feel like that's just who Sasha is. Like, because her dad's wasn't like that. Like the townspeople aren't those kind of people who just like are so desperate for food that they're ravenous. It's just like Sasha. It's just Sasha. It's like that's who. Like that's like her one like kryptonite is.
Food.
Is food. Yeah.
I actually really, really dug, and I love that they use old school Hollywood storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
In this episode, that I really dug it. With a couple of the items, like when you first it shows the bow in that in her flashback. It shows like the bow on the log on the stump or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it talks about how we're hunters. It sets up the fact that she can use a bow very well. But it also did it with the axe. After she splits off and she goes to find the little girl, the axe is in the foreground, very like a little bitty outline of it in the foreground when you see the wide shot of the home, and then as it zooms in, the axe is in the very foreground.
Yeah.
of the shot, and it's like, well, that's definitely going to be fucking used.
Yeah.
And then she fucking does. She goes in the
Yeah.
house, and evidently that axe wasn't very sharp.
Well, I think it's just. I don't think it's that the X wasn't sharp. I think it's that only the scouts' personal weapons, those razor blades, are strong enough to slice through
But
the
had
mate.
they ever addressed that? Like, are they made out of a different steel?
I'm pretty sure they did in the first couple episodes.
They
Whenever they first started learning about their gear.
Okay, I'll have to go back and watch like the first season again, run through that again because I don't remember that. Because when I was watching that, I was like, how is this not chopping this thing's head off?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell at first if that was a guy or a girl. I couldn't tell if it was the little girl's dad or mom.
Oh yeah.
Because it was a very manly looking. I mean, it was her mom, right?
Yeah.
I think she said her mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
But very masculine features.
Yeah.
I couldn't fucking tell.
Yeah, she was a hossy woman.
But yeah, that was a pretty hard scene.
Mm-hmm.
When the little girl's sitting there and she's so struck, and then when Sasha, that's what I loved. When Sasha comes in and the woman's legs are fucking gnarled.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Yeah.
And she just looks at her and she just says, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
There's no way that I can help you.
Yeah.
And she grabs the little girl. And I'm always a big fan of realistic consequences and realistic situations in TV and movies. A lot like with like Shane in The Walking Dead in like the second season or whatever it was. Whenever Herschel was like, no guns, no da-da-da. And finally Shane was like, we're in a world of fucking zombies. We should have weapons.
Yeah. And
he goes and takes back the guns and whatever. But people were like, he's a fucking villain. I'm like, well, he's kind of fucking right.
Yeah.
And this is kind of the same. I mean, not she's not a villain or anything, but it's the same thing. Like, you can't save everyone.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lesson that they are slowly learning as a squad.
Yeah.
That you just can't do it. It's impossible.
Yeah.
That was a point of realism in the episode that I really fucking liked. And again, it showed like character development and like growth.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes to save someone, you have to sacrifice someone else. It's just part of the game.
Yeah.
What'd you think about that?
Just about Sasha in general and her.
Well, or that whole scene, that whole little segment where she goes in the house and she's fucking hacking them.
Well, first of all, the mom was paralyzed from the waist down, so I don't know. Like, it didn't show the Titan completely eating the mom.
No, she's just tearing at her legs.
Yeah, so I want to think that, especially with the timing, because he started following after them pretty quickly after they ran from the house.
Uh-huh.
So I'm wondering if, like, this is just clarity for, or possible clarity for,
Sasha.
Just for the little girl, but I want to say the Titan left, like gave up, like just got tired and moved on to eat more things. And first of all, the mom was paralyzed, so I don't think she probably felt much pain in her legs from being eaten. Although he was grabbing her arm pretty hard, so that was probably broken. But but I think she most likely bled out because I don't think he devoured her. I think he probably gnawed on her legs until the ruckus from Sasha trying to get the horse and all that caught his attention. He was like, "Oh, well, I guess I'll move on," because But because just the timing didn't make sense for him to completely just like demolish that woman's mom. So in Sasha's defense and in the little girl's, sparing her feelings, I feel like, Sasha didn't leave that woman to be completely tortured, just with the timing of the Titans' evacuation from the house. But yeah, I love that they added that she just had to give up. But that she gave it her best shot, and I found it kind of weird that she kept trying to tell the girl that it was gonna be all right. She's like, "Daijoubu, daijoubu," like it's okay, and like I was like, just shut up, Sasha.
I kind of like that because it was like she was trying to tell the little girl that it was okay, but she was also trying to tell herself that it was okay. And she was just kind of
She's like,
constantly
we can get
reassuring
through
herself
this.
that I can get through this. We can get through this.
Yeah, for sure.
So I actually really liked that she kept saying that.
What about when the Titan grabbed her?
Okay.
When she stuck the arrow?
But before that, though, whenever, Sasha gives, like, the little comic relief again when, like, the horse, she, like, goes under the horse and then just runs off. She's like, are you kidding me?
Sasha's screams are crazy.
They're great. They're fucking fantastic. But so, again, like, just reaffirm that she is, like, even though it's in this super serious situation, she still is, like, the comic relief of the show.
Yeah.
She's that levity that the show needs at some points.
Yeah, she has this innocent comprehension of the world around her, to where, like, even terrible situations, like, she just reacts extremely in all cases, and she doesn't give in to like fear or dread or anything like that. Like, she's an extreme reactor to the things that go around her. She, like, her ravenous nature, encapsulates like all of her emotions. So, like, she's just a very expressive girl.
Extreme on every part of the spectrum.
Yeah. So, So when
that happens and they start running, and then she sees the fucking bow reaffirmed from the first time you see it in the flashback, which classic. It's just classic storytelling. I fucking love it. It's brilliant. If you show the gun on the mantelpiece, god damn, that was really country. I apologize to everyone who just heard that. If you see the gun on the mantelpiece in Act 1, you have to use it in Act 3.
Yeah.
That's the,
Yeah.
And they did it beautifully. It was great. But then, so there was a point when she's helping the little girl over the bridge, where the Titan, I can't remember if the Titan actually was out of the house yet or not. I think it was out of the house, but it wasn't on the bridge. And she puts the little girl over the top, and then you hear a crunch.
Yeah.
And, like, I thought for sure that the little girl had just gotten eaten by another Titan on the opposite side of the bridge. And I was like, no, you heartless bastards, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like, this poor girl. But then it fucking did the reverse shot, and the Titan was on the bridge now. So I was like, whew, goddamn. But that was a good little twist, little shift.
Yeah.
They did. I was like, goddamn. But yeah, so then on to what you were talking about, the bow, and then
she like tosses it. Yeah, she just because she wants to make that shot. But I was like, she's sacrificing herself. No.
I was like, no, goddamn it.
But again,
so hard.
with the premonitions, when she smashes her dad in the face to grab the meat, she did the same thing to the Titan to get out of his grip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Classic storytelling, man. It's fucking tried and true. People say that it's dead, but it's not. It's still effective. But no, man, when she sent the first one, and it got it, I was like, oh, fuck. Because I'm not gonna lie, as the fucking Titan was swaying back and forth, I was trying to time it with myself. Like, oh, okay, it's slightly good. It's gonna, alright. I was trying to time it myself. So I was like, God, please, Sasha, get this goddamn Titan. And doesn't she have like a flashback or something? Like a small flashback right before it happens or something?
I think it's more of she just has a moment of introspection. I don't remember there being a clip there, but I do remember her taking a moment to talk to herself about how...
Yeah.
About just... I don't remember what she says, but she's talking about something. She has a moment of introspection about how she has to make this shot and things like that. So yeah, she definitely has a moment there.
Yeah, she says something, and then and then it does I think there's a close up on her eye.
Yeah.
On hers.
Yeah. And
then she just fucking
throws the bow.
Damn, so fucking hard. Just jabs it right into it. I was now at that point. I'm not gonna lie. I was on my couch in the living room, and I was like, fuck yeah! I was yelling so hard, man. I think I had my windows open. I think my neighbors heard me outside. God, it was that was like the moment of Attack on Titan where that like helped me. Like that was like my this is Attack on Titan moment.
Mm-hmm.
This is not everyday people, but this is people in shitty circumstances trying to overcome extreme obstacles
Yeah.
with limited resources.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is why I fell in love with the show.
Yeah.
That little sequence was so hard, man. And then when it fucking grabbed her,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, no, like I thought she was done.
Yeah.
I thought she was dead. I thought her head was gonna fucking pop off or something.
Yeah.
Super grotesque. I thought she was done, but then she just fucking like slid out.
And then threw that stupid excuse like, "Oh, I must have been slippery because of the blood." It's like, man, you're not. There's not that much blood.
Yeah, no,
But, hey,
I didn't even fucking care. I was like, Sasha's alive. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then she sees, her dad.
Yeah.
With the little girl.
Which, again, the moment, and I was like, oh no, because he's gonna run into the Titan, because she was.
Jesus God.
But yeah, then
was
should have
terrible.
seen of them grabbing her. Yeah.
Yeah. And then like bringing it back to their conversation in the flashback again,
Yeah.
everything tying in, saying that like we're not hunting anymore, we're raising horses for the townsfolk and all that shit. Yeah, overall, man, I dug this episode so hard. I liked it better than the first one. Like I think I might be in the minority on this one, but I dug it better than the first one. You got backstory, you got character development. I don't know if her dad is gonna like be feeding horses, not like literally feeding horses, but like getting horses to the scout unit or whatever. But I dug it, man. I was super impressed and just. I was transported back into Attack on Titan in this episode.
Yeah.
Where the first episode, I was just like, okay, Attack on Titan's back, and it was cool. This episode, I was like completely just engrossed into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt like I was just a part of the world.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Give me 1 second. My the light was keeping my roommates up. But there's still one more topic, and that's Connie.
That was what?
Connie. Because we saw Connie go to his hometown too.
Oh yeah, at the very end. That's right. See, I so hyped on Sasha. Yeah, man. So he goes to his hometown. Everything's jacked to shit. And then he sees that goddamn Titan like filleted, or not filleted, but fucking like skewered on the damn house. Which I thought it was dead at first, but evidently it's fucking alive.
Yeah.
Was that its ribs that were poking out?
I think it's
or was
hard
that like
to say.
a cage thing?
No,
I couldn't tell.
It looked like ribs, and I think this is gonna bring in the theory talk, because we only got a little taste of it before this episode ended. So anything we conjure up at the moment is gonna be theory, and I've developed quite a few theories. So I don't know if you have any about it.
About his. About that Titan?
Yeah.
Or.
Well, yeah. I mean, including.
Dude, I am who the fuck Snowsvilles. Like I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, so.
It's his town though, right? It's not. What's his name? Braun?
No, that was definitely Connie's old hometown.
Yeah, it was Connie's town.
Yeah. And that was his house.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have two theories. One is somewhat understandable and realistic. The other one is going to be a leap, but um, the first one. So first of all, they say the wall's been breached,
Yeah.
but we've only seen a handful of Titans, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're in random spots. So there's only one in Saucer's Town, and then we have this emergence of this.
Know of.
Hmm?
Oh yeah, and Sasha. Yeah. Sasha's just one. Yeah.
And then we had the one on Connie's house, and then we have
Yeah.
the handful that were on where Mike died, right?
Yeah.
That he took out the 5, I think he took out, and then he got eaten by 3 more, and then you have the Beast Titan.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering. We've learned a couple things. We've learned that the wall is possibly made of Titans, and we heard Armin talk about how it was his Armin, right?
I mean,
We heard Armin talk about how it's possible that the wall is made of Titan skin that they hardened, kind of like Annie's crystallization. And so I have a couple theories, and the first one, the kind of simple one, is that the Titan there that was stuck on Connie's house was either thrown into that spot to where it got stuck, like thrown like almost like a catapult, like a weapon, onto the house, or it erupted from inside the house, and that's why it's trapped.
hence the rib cage.
Yes.
And okay.
So I'm wondering if a small fleet were like, because I have this theory that, especially with the special of the talking Titan, which it was very rudimentary speech. He could barely get out a few sentences, and he was very, um, he was like his intelligence was very condensed to, you know, this kind of minute sincerity of grief of being a Titan almost. And so I'm curious is if there are like if Titans are just mutated humans that can be turned on and off at any moment, like uh, weaponized at any moment, you know, like almost
Like a fucking sleeper soldier, like a sleeper that you fucking code
yeah,
word and
like
you just
almost like a virus that you can turn on and it erupts into. So like I'm wondering if like a small fleet was sent in, maybe under the direction of the Beast Titan, because he seems to be in charge of at least a number of Titans,
yeah.
To gain some kind of leverage over the scouts.
But you said, that was his house. That was Connie's house,
That
right?
was definitely Connie's house, yeah.
Okay, so if that's the case, then like one of his family members, his brother or his sister.
It could have been. It looked like it looked like a female Titan. I mean, it wasn't a female Titan because there was only one female Titan, but it was a female styled Titan. So it could have been either a visitor, you know, went into Connie's house and weaponized, or maybe. But the second option is part of my second theory, and that's that all of the main characters, including the side characters, are Titanized to some extent.
They're just like sleepers at the moment.
Possibly, yeah.
Okay. Well, we know that a couple of them are for sure.
Oh yeah, we have Annie, who's obviously one.
Braun, pretty much. Isn't that his name? Braun.
Raynor.
Raynor, yeah. Blonde hair dude.
Yeah, Raynor. I fully believe Raynor's the armored Titan.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the Colossal?
I don't know. I've heard a bunch of crazy theories. I mean, some of the old ones were that it was his dad.
Mm-hmm.
Was the Colossal, but then you brought up that maybe his dad is the
Beast Titan.
The Beast Titan, since he's like smarter, he's intelligent, he's inquisitive.
Yeah.
But I was talking to my buddy Jeff, and he was saying that because the the Beast Titan, he has no idea what like the 3D maneuver devices are.
Mm-hmm.
My buddy Jeff was saying that they already had the 3D maneuver devices when he was still around.
Okay.
So if that's true, that's either some discontinuity or it's just not him.
Well, think about it. Aaron's dad possibly did work at a lab, so it could be another scientist, another maybe like the kind of the leader of the science organization or someone else there, like an older person. It could be someone completely different. Yeah.
Or they're part of the fucking church cult, whatever it is. There's definitely a tie-in with the Titans and the church cult. We don't know what it is yet. But it could be one of the leaders or something in the church cult. I don't know.
Well, this brings me to my second theory that I've developed with the second season and the recap movies that I just started watching.
Okay, all right.
So the second movie opens with do you remember when Annie was teaching Aaron how to fight?
Yeah.
And she taught him that throw?
Yeah.
Well, they showed more footage of that scene. And there's a conversation that Annie has with Aaron when he's like, why are you, fighting so hard? And she's like, when you're weak, you must learn to overcome your stronger opponent. And she pins him even harder, and she's like suffocating him practically, and it's kind of comical. But she's like, you need to get stronger. And then she says, you also need to learn how to talk to girls. But there was so much sincerity in Annie's voice when she said that. Mm-hmm. And it made me, it kind of goes with my theory that this last couple episodes, they've revealed a couple things that reminded me of the concept that they've released time and time again about being cattle, right? And I've started to look at it a little differently, and whenever it shows the distant, like far distance view of Walrose and all of that, it really does look like a pen, right? A pen made out of titans, protected by this weird church, and so that got me thinking, what if they are being kept not necessarily as cattle, but as some kind of experiment, as some kind of weird lab experiment. And then that would, I'm wondering, well, maybe that would make Annie the colossal titan who breaks the first wall, the armor titan who breaks through the second wall, and Annie, what if they are all part of the same group trying in a weird violent way to release this group of humanity from this weird captured lifestyle,
So they're actually the heroes?
Yeah. Yeah. And that we
could... crazy twist. Why are they eating everybody?
Well, Annie never ate anyone. She just killed people.
Yeah, she killed a shit ton of people.
She killed a shit ton, yeah. But maybe it's because she can't let herself be captured. Maybe it's because it's for the greater good,
Killing people? I don't know.
I don't see why they would have made them so likable if they're just going to turn them around and make them villains.
I think it boils down to I like your earlier theory about how like they're kind of sleeper agents, that kind of like Winter Soldier kind of things where they don't because they do seem very sincere, like you said with Annie and Aaron and that little exchange, and then
Raynor with Connie.
First episode with Raynor, super sincere. Mm-hmm. Like he, in those exchanges, it really seems like he wants to help him find his family. He wants to help him warn him. Unless he's just that good of an actor, and he's like that demented. But I don't think that's the case. I think that he actually, like you said, like he can't control when his Titan emerges, and that something else is forcing his Titan to emerge. Mm-hmm. That he's not in control of it, and he can't control it when he's in that mode either. Mm-hmm.
and I'm wondering if Annie was the same way.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm wondering the scene where Aaron or Armin, I forget which one actually says it, tells Annie that she is the female Titan, and she laughs uncontrollably. If that
Mhm.
was her way of going, of course it's me. Like, what the fuck? Like, you know,
Yeah.
like realizing that she's being used as a weapon or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and then she turned into the female Titan, and you know, so we never got closure to whether she understood what was going on or if she was just like, you know, being used as well. And so yeah, I mean,
And now, did she get when that happened? Did she get cut or anything when she turned? I can't remember. Did she get cut or
Aaron used his
like
Titan
you know
form.
whenever Aaron turns, he fucking like bites his thumb or does whatever.
I think didn't her ring have a blade in it or something? I don't remember.
Maybe I see. I gotta go back and watch the first season again.
Yeah, I feel like there was something with like something in her hand that turned into a weapon. So she would have had to know.
Hmm. Yeah, a lot to be revealed, man.
Yeah.
But they've got a whole 25 episodes. Hopefully, I heard a rumor that there's only going to be 12.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too.
It better not be true. I'll be done.
Yeah.
I've said it before that I'm done with it. But if they made us wait 5 years for 12 episodes, I will lose my mind. I will boycott Attack on Titan so hard
until season 3
and
comes
I
out.
don't care. Anyone that's watching that's like, fuck yourself, going down. I don't give a shit. That's spitful of bullshit. And using the fans. And yes, I know that I'm saying epitome wrong. It's a Brian Regan skit. Fucking look it up. But yeah, if it is actually 12 episodes, I'm really, really pissed.
Yeah. We'll see, man. We'll see. I think we're still in store for a great season.
Yeah.
And
I do. I think so far it's shaping up really nicely. I have high hopes for it. And yeah, I'm stoked.
What do you think next episode's going to be about?
Well, it showed some of in a little clip afterwards. It showed in the preview the Beast Titan again, but I don't think he's going to be in it a lot. I think he's probably going to be in the last maybe minute and a half of it.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be in it at all. It said that they're trying to Aaron and all them are trying to figure out they're still trying to figure out what's going on. It said something about Levi trying to get that guy to talk.
Yeah, something out of the priest.
Yeah, something. I don't know. Hopefully, they say that they allude to the fact that he's going to give up information. I don't think he's going to give up that much information. That priest dude might let us know how the church is involved.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be the extent of it. It's not going to tell us where the Titans come from, who's in charge of them, why they're doing what they're doing. It's not going to tell us none of that.
Yeah.
It'll tell us how the church knows about the Titans. It might tell us why the Titans are in the wall. Maybe. Even that, though, that might be a stretch this early on.
Yeah. Well, Armin definitely helps with coming up with theories because he comes up with theories as well, and
he brings the group, man.
Yeah. So
he's a Blue Ranger.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, well, good talk, man. I think that was a good first chat.
Yeah.
And for anyone who has not seen the first or the second episodes, I don't know why the hell you watched this. That's your own damn fault. We'll put spoiler in the title.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been really fun. Hopefully we'll do this, once a week starting out?
It'd be cool, yeah.
Yeah. And then we'll upload to YouTube, probably on Facebook. I don't have Facebook, but Lance has Facebook. And he can upload it. And I'll do like screenshots. You can send me a screenshot in the link, and I'll put it on my Instagram. At Throttle Fox, Throttle_Fox. What's your Instagram?
Lance will do, I think. I think it's just my personal one.
Yeah,
We'll
Lance
see.
will do. We'll see. We'll be on various social media, posting links, and yeah, should be fun. So hopefully we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Cool.
Later.